Ride sharing. It came to Chicago last year, and since then, the customer base has grown steadily. Now, Mayor Emanuel plans to impose citywide safety and consumer regulations on companies like Lyft, Sidecar, and UberX. DePaul transportation expert Joseph Schweiderman says ride-sharing needs to be viewed differently from traditional taxis.
With this new product, we need to in fact view there are two different systems. We have traditional taxi cabs you hail on the street, and these new products. And Mayor Rahm's trying to set some ground floor for these new services. There's at least some minimal check of safety, of regulatory compliance.
Currently, there are no Chicago regulations on ride-sharing. This means companies set their own safety standards. To understand why this could be problematic, you first have to understand how ride-sharing works. I'm standing outside DePaul Center downtown, and I need to get somewhere quick. So I have my Lyft app here, and my GPS is already turned on, so it already knows where I am. So all I have to do is hit Request Lyft, and once it pairs me with a driver, it'll give me their location on a map and a picture of the driver and the car that they are driving. Now that's where things get tricky. I don't know this driver. And how do riders know that their drivers are qualified and trustworthy, since background checking stipulations are left entirely up to the companies themselves? And since the companies rely on drivers using their own personal vehicles, we're left to wonder, how are the vehicles being kept up and are they safe for travel? Because ride-sharing programs don't own their own vehicles, they avoid expensive licensing and maintenance fees, something cab companies see as unfair.
You know, to run a cab in the city, you got to buy a license, a medallion that in effect shows that you have the right to operate a cab. The city controls that.
The medallion is a piece of metal you can find on the hood of every cab in the city. And the going rate for that little piece of metal? $300,000.
It takes years, if not decades, to finally pay off the cost of that medallion. And so there's panic in the air about companies that pay $300,000 for a medallion, knowing now that they have this new competition.
Taxi companies are scared about declining business, and it seems at DePaul, the decline could already be well underway.
I don't use taxi cabs.
Why not?
Mostly they're overpriced. They sometimes take you on a ride. With Uber, when you get into the ride, it's more of a personal ride.
The Uber is just so, you don't have to go find one. They come right to your doorstep, you don't have to go venturing out trying to hail one. It's just so much better. It's a personal driver.
But some students do have concerns, including the wildly fluctuating fare prices during busy hours and holidays. Something DePaul student Neil Zalesnak has experienced firsthand.
Do surge pricing is what they call it, surge pricing. And your rate will be 3-4 times the regular Uber rate, which you think about it and you're like, oh, whatever, like $4 a mile or something, because you don't think about it. But then, you take what is normally a $10 cab ride and you get charged $45. It's pretty shocking.
Another student, Gia Quinn, worries about the quality of the drivers.
But I've had really bad drivers with Sidecar where they don't even know where they're going. And I'm literally directing them in the back, like on my GPS.
Most students had at least one complaint about their ride-sharing service of choice, things that could be fixed by regulation. But some critics expressed concern that over-regulation could hinder the forward progress of ride-sharing or put a stop to it completely. Now, no bills have been passed yet, but an ordinance drafted by the mayor's office suggests insurance regulations and that drivers pass a yearly 21-point inspection. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Kipp Burroughs.